All right, let me try this. Let's see. Home. Oh. Hey, what's up? XL's YT. Friendly dog, what's going on? Whoa. Okay, so hold on a second. I don't even know how to turn it down. There it is. This keyboard never gets used, so I don't know how to use it. So I'm trying to pull up comments here because they don't stay on my phone. So let me see. All right, there we go. So anyway, hopefully you guys can't see that me on there and have it bother anyone. Maybe I can kind of angle that part out. So what's up, dudes? How you all been? I'll tell you, it's been an interesting week. What's good? 5150 Abbott. Friendly dog, hi. So I got, if you guys are on the group in Facebook, I think I shared it on YouTube though too, that I was making a parking block or attempting to make a parking block. And it's sitting in my garage. I haven't done a lot of concrete. I've sort of assisted people on it. And I got pretty psyched about doing a parking block, man, because it's like on one side I was going to do a 90 degree, because I get the complaint on some of my slappy videos that I have a cheater curb. It sort of looks like a quarter pipe. So, and I really want to practice some slappy nose slides and a slappy. Is it anybody? Okay, so whatever, my screen timed out, flipped over and disappeared there. So this phone, ever since I restarted, it's doing some funny stuff. But anyway, so I really wanted to make this big, massive parking block. I'm not a great concrete person, especially when I'm doing it myself. If I'm finishing some concrete, working with somebody who's better than me, like I'm a good helper. So I got the 5,500 PSI, which, because I'm assuming, because it's harder, it has more Portland in it. I also bought a bag of Portland just because I wanted to be ready for anything, because I have a tendency to mix my concrete too wet. So I'm at that stage now where I got the form slapped on. I had the thing filled up yesterday. I'm keeping it wet, and I really want to open it up. I feel like my mix, you pour that thing upside down. So I feel like my mix at the top of the block, which would have been at the bottom of the mold, was just right. Kind of dry, kind of chunky. And I had Killian in there helping me. And we did take some video. But I had him in there helping me, kind of trying to push it under the rebar and get it up under those PVC handles. And I'm just not sure I took enough time before I was hitting shovel after shovel. And about halfway through filling that up, I realized, one, I'm going to vibrate it with my Sawzall. And two, I just started picking this thing up and slamming it down, trying to bring all the rock to the bottom. I don't know. So I'm at that wrapped Christmas present point right now where all the work and $90 I put into this thing could be a total waste. Once I pull those form boards off, I could see some big chunky voids in there, and I don't know if there's some concrete mix. I can run patches and fix it up. I'm sure they've got something available there. But I went out, I admit, I went out, so it's been, about, what would that be, 24 hours. One full day, and I pulled one of the end boards off, and I looked at it. It's pretty solid. It looks pretty solid, but it does have some voids, like maybe like the size of, like, those Nerds candies, like not very big, but definitely had some. Some might be a little bigger and a little smaller, but I don't know. But I just decided to wait at least one more day before I take the form off. I got some wet t-shirts on top. Figure I'll get it as hard as I possibly can. I don't know how it's going to go, but this is, it's kind of like me trying to forge my own skateboard trucks and building like this mini metal furnace. I could, like the very first time I did it, I melted metal that shot and blew into my eyes. And then the second time I couldn't even melt metal when I made this like legit furnace. So I'm down to try everything. I usually end up wasting money on a lot of things. I'd like to find somebody now that could help me forge some metal so that I could make my, right? So that I could make my own skateboard trucks, because I'm seeing Ace and Indy and all these companies like, blow up Instagram right now. And I'm just reminding myself that all this crap is made overseas in China. And I think we're at a stage right now in America, that is, where American made matters. It matters to me. I never really gave much thought of it before. It was just kind of, hey, it's cool to save some money. But now it matters, I think I mentioned on a SoCal post, on some new trucks they were advertising, like, hey man, I'll gladly pay $100+ for a set of trucks right now if it was just made in America for real, So I don't know. I'm kind of down with that. I think Ventures are still made in the US. Is that true? Because if that is, man, I'm gonna make the switch. Do they happen to have a 10-inch truck though? Maybe a welder could help. I'm not sure though. And yeah, it does matter for sure. Haha, my deck's American made. Yeah, good. Yeah, and even that, I've thought too about having this YouTube channel, and I've made somewhere around 700 or more videos, and I think, man, I'm advertising Black Label all the time, And these videos, some of these videos are going to be around forever. That's a lot of advertisement. And I started thinking, man, if Lucero isn't going to give me a shout out and help me grow my YouTube channel once in a while, then why don't I ride some like custom board guys decks, instead, like Lou Ross. I don't think he's making them right now, the Fickle skateboards, but it dawned on me, like, why don't I support someone like that, just way more aware of what I'm going to do, I think, after all this is going on. But I'm trying to think about also setting up a street deck, because I definitely got Eric Winkowski rides 8.75 trucks. I can do 8.75. I've got some right here. This is a 159 Indy. I got a 149 here, and I think this is a 151. So I'm trying to put together a street deck, and I gave a rider, a young kid riding out at one of the parks, the street board I had. Street board, come on, I sound like some old guy who has no grasp of skateboarding terminology. But my son offered me this board. It's pretty cool. He tried it out on a deck that's so long and so big. His board he's riding now, that Dogtown, is like, it's a 7.75 width, but it's really short, and I think it's at least 2.5 inches shorter than this deck. I probably have my tape measure. No, there's a tape measure right there. Get 9-inch anti-hero. I have one right up here. I have one of the green. I've got several up there. I got a couple of 8.5s. I got this one here too. I was thinking about this one. This one here is Everslick. You guys remember that from back in our days? And I just ordered my first 9-inch board. So this has got Everslick on it. It's a creature, and I'll tell you what, man. There's something about, I have this hanging on the wall. That's what that's there for. But there's something I don't like about creature decks, the way the concave feels. I kind of like having the concave kind of come up a little bit right here, especially for kickflips. To me, the shape of this board is weird, but this Everslick, because I remember riding those in the 90s when I was doing the nose slides and the tail slides. Now, I wanted to ask you guys, because I've talked to a few people about tail slides, and back in the day when I did them, I mentioned I skated across from Danny Way's shop on this really juicy, buttery curb. Say this is my nose, and say I'm a regular foot. I put my front foot here, and I wouldn't nollie, but I would just kind of like, just sort of shove and pivot and slap into a tail slide like that. Would that be called a slappy tail slide? That's what I'm assuming. I was trying to explain it to someone the other day and kind of showing them on some dry curb, and they were like, never had seen anything like that. And I was like, man, I remember getting 6 to 8 foot of good slide action just from kind of like kick turning off my front end. I had a creature carbon fiber and it broke 3 weeks. Yeah, there's something about it, man. There's something about it. I don't know. It just doesn't feel good under my feet. However, this one does. So this one's an 825. And so I was thinking of going with this. Then check out the color scheme on here, right? How's that look? Some gold titanium. I mean, that's pretty beautiful. What's up, Nicola? How are you? William Doyle. I would call that a sloppy tail slide. Okay, that's what I'm thinking, you know. I heard someone say that the nose slide I was doing was a sloppy nose slide too. But I got a compressed disc in my back right now from that day I was trying to learn those shove-its. And, you know, that's a hard trick. So I was watching, I don't know if you guys subscribe to Father-Daughter Skate. Was it his video? He was just talking about how scared he was going up on the rail. He was like taking like a kicker ramp right up to rail height and just riding onto a rail. And it's like, I don't know, it doesn't come out in the videos. You guys probably think I'm like fearless, but I'm not, man. I'm like, just to do a little shove it to me, it's all I got, man. Especially like my injury is doing so well, man. I'm like, I probably don't have it anymore, but I do have it mentally a little bit still in my mind. So I think about like, I haven't done a garage session because my ramp in there's a little slippery. So when my feet start to slide out and you got to use your kind of core to tense up, that's where I feel like I could like hurt myself maybe, right? But I'll throw myself off 4 stairs, not knowing what I'm doing. So yeah, dude, when I get talking, I just got diarrhea of the mouth, don't I? I can just flow on this. I'm probably missing a bunch of comments, but I wanted to tell you guys, like if I'm talking, you still ride that Dave Hackett. I've got that one in my garage, and I am planning to set that up again. I sort of changed the shape of the nose on that board, and it kind of weirded me out. It looks like a hammerhead shark, a little more like a hammerhead than the Hosoi decks do. It's sort of a little more legit hammerhead. But I also, saying that I didn't really care for how the creature felt, I wrote a Hosoi board. I probably got it in here somewhere too. I hated the way it felt too, but they're narrower boards. They're like 8.5, so it might just be like a foot size thing or an 8.5 thing. However, this 8.25, this thing feels super good. Well, what a lot of you guys were mentioning to me was, boy, there's like a 30-second delay, isn't there? Anyway, I was thinking of getting a soy hammer. I was too. I think if I get one that's 10 inches or larger, I think I will really like it, honestly. And so that brings me back, like, because my channel's getting some followers, and because we're a lot of new older skaters or older dudes rediscovering skateboarding, we buy more gear than anybody, hands down. Your guys' room it looks like my room. I know it does. We have gear galore. And it's just, I want to ride somebody's decks who wants to help me too grow my channel, like Hasoy Christian, give me a shout out. I'll buy my deck. I'm not looking for a free skateboard, but give my channel a shout out, man, and I'll ride your decks, I guess you gotta like it though. But I might find a board maker, maybe there's somebody local. I think there's another board maker out here, and try to ride something like that, at least for a bowl board, for a flip trick board. I want to. You know what board I would like probably would be one of those flight decks. Those seem pretty cool. So if I'm going to go down in size, I can definitely do that, and especially down in wheelbase. Because several of you made the comment that if I'm going to be trying to flip a board in any way, having a 16-inch wheelbase or 15.5-inch wheelbase in comparison to an inch less at like 14 and a half. This is religious. I didn't see that comment. Let me see. I feel like Hasoy would be down for that with his religious stuff going on. Anderson flight deck, yeah. Lots of tech. Yeah, I love the way those boards feel. I've ridden a couple, but I just got so into bowl skating that it was hard for me to go to anything that was shorter or more narrow. Let's see. I was looking at a 10.25. I can't imagine myself wanting to go more than a 10.25. That's the hammerhead, though, isn't it? William. Yeah. I can't imagine needing to go more than 10 for me, but what's the difference, right? Look at this puppy, though. Wait, where is it? So I thought I was gonna get, I think it's Thunder. No. Tracker makes the 11-inch truck, right? I was thinking of putting some Tracker 11s on here, and then I stood on it. And I mean, when I stand on that, I mean, it almost, it feels like I'm standing on a front door. It's like that's crazy, dude. It's too much board for me. But 0.25, that's nothing. So, okay, so where was I at? So I got my parking block. I explained that to you guys. Do we have any, like a snowboard? Yeah, definitely. You could probably use that in the snow. Do we have any concrete experts in here? If so, I have a concrete question for you, maybe. I'm really hoping this block works. So what I did was, I got a straight up 90 on one side. It's going to be 8 feet long. And then on the other side, I think I got a little more than 5 inches, maybe like 5.25 inches at the top, because I was feeling like I want to get into doing some safe board slides. And so a lot of these homemade things, they feel a little rocky, especially when someone 225 pounds, like that block you made. Oh yeah, the wood one, right? That's the one I broke 2 ribs on. Like that thing, I had it kind of in that one video, but man, the very first time I rode that thing, I was jacked. Like I told, because I didn't have insurance, I didn't go to the doctor. And I went to a chiropractor, and he checked it out, and he's like, dude, I really strongly feel that you have 2 broken ribs. And It hurt really bad the first night. The second night hurt a lot worse. And by the third night, I went to bed and I actually thought it was possible I could die from it. That's how intense that was. So I'm really shy about trying to get into a board slide. And I did it at some yellow curves before and I got some little slides, but I wanted to make something. And this is my way of cutting corners. Like when I learned to switch drop in, I used a sawhorse type ladder, put a rug over it, and I'll just cheat any way possible to get step 1, 2, 3 safely. So that's why I wanted to make this parking block. So it's about 5.5 inches at the top, and then it's got a slight angle on one side. So the 90 degree, tail slide, no slides, slappies, whatever you want to do. But the other side, grinds, 50-50 grinds, board slides. Like I want to do lip slides. I want to do these things, but I want to do them without killing myself. And I mean, I could probably do something like that even into the grass, off a sidewalk. There's just so many options with a great parking block like that. I'll take it down to my skate park and skate it with everybody out there. And, I'll like put a sticker with my YouTube channel on it, and maybe I'll even get some new subs from watching that. Hello from Sonora, Mexico. Let me see if I missed anything on here. Salvation got some slime balls. Have you ever tried them? If you've got the mini, what do they call it? The minis I want. They're on the very top of my list. I don't have a job right now. I'm going to get my job back when things get fixed. But right now, I'm not spending any money, man. But those wheels, those are on my list. I think I have... I saw it. Soy. Rains. Yeah, I got a couple wheels up here. I don't see that one. Oh, you know what? That's on my setup with my avenues. I'm 45 and just started back skating. Right on, man. I'll tell you what. You guys don't see all the comments I get, but that comment right there, I'm 45, dude. I watched a couple of your videos. I went out and bought a deck. I can't bring myself to using it yet. I get that comment probably 3 times a day. We're going to start seeing more dudes in our age group at the skate parks, and I can't wait. I love it, man. I dig seeing dudes out there in my group. Super fun. But I love getting those comments. So anyway, Cam Studios says, "What's up, bro? I got Spitfire 58 full cons." I think that's probably my... There goes the comment. Wide OG wheels waiting in the wings to use. I would say that the 60 millimeter Spitfire 99As got to be one of my favorites overall. I got 2 sets of black ones up there. This is that's a 58 right here too. I like the conical full, but I also dig the rounded one now. When I was first learning 50-50 grinds, I wanted to stay flat. I felt that they gave me like a better grab up against the coping, and I felt way safer on them. Once I got better at those stand-up grinds, and then I started to do carve grinds, where you're just going to keep your trucks down, you're going to roll over and roll back. Then I really like the rounded wheel. Or like this rain skate. These kind of wheels, you really feel how much easier it sort of gets you on and over and all of that. What does that say? I just bought some slime balls after a sneaky street skate tonight. I've been most... Sneaky, yeah, right? You kind of got to be sneaky. No one has to sneak as bad as those churchgoers, though, man. I've been hearing some news clips, I think, out of Missouri, and they're talking about, like, throwing people in jail that are trying to go worship at church, and that's a sticky slope. Anything like that is pretty sticky. I heard AG Bar goes out and said, you better be careful because if you do that, we're going to come back and watch you. So thank goodness for that. Just bought some slime ball. Okay, yeah. Curbs. Bye, guys. I'm going to sleep. Siren streaming for everybody. And good night, Mr. Olaf. GK or G Funk. Gotta bounce, brother. Okay, we'll see you later, dude. Thank you. What's that name? Waza. Oh, I can't keep up with them. They're moving faster than I'm used to because I'm like, I probably need my reading glasses up here, but let me see. What is that? Loverly. Thanks for continuing to support those 40 plus. You've been an inspiration to me at age 47. Always learning from your experiences. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You know, it's weird to share the things I share. And sometimes like I have this check that happens in my brain where I go, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're watching little kids on Instagram catching air, and what are you doing? But that's the thing that I think so great about YouTube. And I mean, I think that's a thing that I think a lot of people should do it, should have YouTube channels, just because it doesn't matter what you're into or what level you're at. There's a whole lot of people like you. So, and I've said this before, you know, they used to tell us, like a motivational speaker would say, find out what it is you love to do and then do that as your job. And people think, well, wait a second, how could I possibly do that as my job? But then if you think about, that's exactly what YouTube is. You know, say you like to collect figurines or, you know, something that's totally lame for like me. I don't collect anything like that. But as soon as you share it and you talk about it and you find your group and they find you, all of a sudden, whatever it is you're into, and it doesn't matter how different it is, there's a whole other group of people that are there wanting the content that you're going to make. And you can totally end up, if you stick with it long enough, you can totally be making an income off of that. You know, I'm not making much, but I make a little bit of money on this channel now, and it could go up if I just keep at it, right? But that being said, you know, somebody to start a YouTube channel now trying to do what a few of us on here, like Salvation, you know, we know how much work trying to do something serious on YouTube is. I think if you're going to do that, and that's kind of how I got into it. I got into it thinking, you know, what if I could make a channel that ended up being successful and I had some people want to give me some wheels to ride, which hasn't happened yet. 800 videos later, like I've worked my butt off, but I don't mind it. It's what I like to do. So I think whatever it is, if you like to do it, being able to have this opportunity to share your consciousness with people, for that matter, it's pretty rad. If you stick it out and you love what you're doing, you're going to be successful at it. You just can't quit, right? Like skateboarding, you can't quit. That's what makes what we do so rad. Is most people, they just don't have the balls. And you women that have the brawn, right? It's most people are just too wussy to do what we do. So Greg West, where about you? Okay. You guys talking to each other a little bit. It's definitely, yeah, Salvation, you know, you just got to keep trucking. I remember another YouTube guy that started out when we all started out, and he was like, you're uploading too much content and you're going to alienate the people who follow you. And I probably have some of you on here who felt that way in the past, but I don't feel that way. I feel like, you know what? Reconnecting. Do I still have anybody here? Yes, Oscar, Rip, Grosso. Has anyone got any more details on that? I heard the day or the night it happened that was just a random heart attack. So now I have a picture of myself. I've never seen that before. How'd that happen? Yeah, man, you know, love Grosso or hate him. I've heard a few say that. He was a rad dude, man. He really was funny. I watched Love Letters for a couple hours last night. I saw the one Van Doren put up this morning about him, and you know those two guys were close. That was kind of tough to watch. I mean, you could hear it in his voice, and I have bought a lot of Grosso decks. I got at least 4 of them up here. Hi, Mike. What's this one say? True meaning of skateboarding. Yeah, definitely. I don't feel that way either, man. These other people get big in a day, are doing some weird stuff, some weird video that hurts them or hurts someone else, or pranks. To each his own, but I respect. Yeah, some of that stuff. I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple years ago, I was out with my kids and I caught a snake. And I finally made that video private last night because I was triggering a lot of people with that video. It was bringing a lot of people to my channel, like thousands. And I finally just got rid of it last night because, like it was a padded, soft ground. I picked a snake up. I didn't know if it was poisonous, and I kind of threw it, Hindsight, I get it. Yeah, to that snake that was just trying to chill. I grew up with mom and dad that killed every snake we found, so it just never dawned on me. But, after you get 35 likes and 35 dislikes, you start to realize that you got some people kind of fired up. Yeah, William. Fought a snake. I fought many snakes in my life. I have a real thrill, man. I think so get back salvation or what I was saying. It's YouTube seems to share your content. So like I notice I get less views if I upload every day. And if I got more views, I would do it. I would get out and skate all the time. I would do even more. But they share your channel every time you put up a new video. So it really helps you if you're trying to grow the community some. So I don't know. But anymore now, you see occasional. I saw a channel yesterday, a skateboarding channel, had 2 videos. They had 20,000 subs. Not even a fantastic skater either. So, but yeah, skateboard wise, guys, what wheelbase for street do I want to use? And then wheel size. I'm kind of thinking, when I used to do it, the wheels were super small. What now? Like what wheel size is ideal? So we're talking, let me measure these. Let me see. I'm pretty sure this creature board is going to have a long wheelbase. If you had a chance, would you start a skate brand? And if so, what would you do? Yeah, I would. I have already made a prototype truck out of plaster. I really want to make trucks, I want to make trucks like jewelry almost, like a collector's item, like something that some OG gets that pays some money for, but and it's maybe not for everybody, right? Like if you're Brian Chuck, right? Handy with shovels on our Facebook group, like he's killing the slappies. Like he's not gonna buy a truck like that, but yeah, I want to make. I want to do trucks big time. Decks and that kind of thing I don't really care about, but I would love to have like a premium set of trucks, but like blowing molten alloy into my eyes. I'm willing to do it again, but I can barely see what you guys are typing there. Dude, I would try them out. I can 3D model that. All right, so I do need. Okay, so here's another thing too. My I want to do t-shirts. I have lots of ideas. I have a daughter-in-law out in Canada that drew me this really sick logo, and then she never sent it to me. I got it right here. Let me see. This is our Facebook group here. Prodigal Sons OG Skateboarding. if you want to find us on there. That group is really pretty fun. But yeah, here's the picture. Oops. Let's fix that. Does that show up? Oh, God. It doesn't show up at all, does it? All right, well, she drew a caricature kind of me and just looking like an old skateboarder dude, right? And I have some slogans and all of this stuff, and she didn't finish the picture, so I ended up using like some phone app to put like an actual skateboard in it and then made it kind of look like it came out pretty good. But I don't know how to do the logos. I tried using Photoshop trial version. Whoa! Outside my realm. I might as well fly a spaceship if I'm going to use that. So I don't know if there's anybody out there that could help me with some logos or something, you know. I've got them already drawn up. I just don't know how to make it in the right file format or whatever. Yeah, and I've reached out to quite a few metal professionals in my area. And I have another idea I came up with of something that's pretty simple. If somebody had a 3D printing capability. I'm in the dental field, and we're about to get some 3D printers. And so I could make a prototype in that similar material that we would use in the dental field. But I'd like to get it done in metal. And so there's just it's time to do all of these things. So, okay, back to Wheelbase. And then I'm going to go check out your guys' comments. So this board, this creature deck with the Everslick. Yeah, dude, what? Holy shit. All right, so this is not a good street board at 16.5 inches. Dude, I got to check that again. I didn't realize I had 16.5 inches. 16.5. No wonder this board feels weird. 16.5 inch wheelbase at 8.5 inches long. No wonder that feels odd. It feels flat chested. When you stand on it, it's like, I don't know, it just feels like a 2x4. Real narrow and all right, so that's not going to work. I'm glad I measured that. Let's see what the wheelbase is on this board. So the wheelbase here, 14.25. 225-pound guy on an 8.25 deck. Do you guys feel like that's a good size for me? I sort of feel like I should be on 8.5, 8.75. You know, I think I'm doing okay on the 8.8, but it comes down to the wheelbase, right? Like, I didn't even think about that until I was reading some of your comments. And I think since I started getting into some street skating, I've had a few of you guys, like guys that I'm not familiar from getting comments to. So I 14.25, gosh, it disappeared. Would be good for manuals. What size are your shoes? I wear about an 11, 10.5 to 11, just depending. The DGK is perfect. Yeah, that is a huge wheelbase. I mean, like 16.5. I don't even have 10-inch decks, big black label decks that have 16.5. I think the only one I have that's 16.5 is that Death Box. Curtis Saxton, you've done design for 15 years. I mean, like, I don't have a lot of money to spend, but I'm not against paying some money to get somebody to do it. I think I have a lot of ideas, so I would like to. Maybe I can talk. Maybe I can get your number or something. 8.5 and higher could be perfect. I think 8.25 would be good to flip tricks faster. Maybe what wheels are you going to put on? That's my other question on the wheels. 16.5 is more of a puller cruiser. Yeah, of course. I really like a 16-inch wheelbase. I really like. 16.5. I don't know that I've ever really given that a fair shot. I don't like it. I don't like this 16.5 on an 8.5 deck. I don't like that. That feels just weird to me. Let's see. 32 millimeter street. 32? Are you talking about 52? Salvation, you mean 52. 32. I don't even think we had them that small in the 90s. I think you're talking 52. 52s kind of scare me. I feel like I hang up on rocks. And let's see. Not unkind, inkind. Where did that? Cheers from SoCal, Simi Valley. Dude, I used to live out in Simi Valley when I was a kid, kind of in Agoura Hills. Loved it out there, man. I have some great memories growing up with my childhood out there. OG Dogtown native, Mr. Danny O. He hooked me up to your channel. Sweet. 52, yes. Okay. When you said 32, like, I probably rode those around the 1990 maybe. I try first time 8.5 element. The fill was so good. Trademark is different. I've skated my wheels that small too. You know, I liked them then too. I really liked them. I felt like I could ollie super high. You know, I'm like jonesing on stairways right now. I actually cruised at school today because I was like, Easter Day, man, I got to get out there. There's definitely, because there's been some cops there after the first 2 times I skated. I'm noticing some police car hanging out in the parking lot now. So I went out today. Me and my daughter were checking out to see if Lowe's was open. And there was no one there. I'm like, oh, I got to get my board and go back. But moving this concrete around and working on this thing, you guys will see the construction video, but I had to pull this giant saw out from underneath my ramp. And man, I had to lean over and get all awkward. And dude, I totally like compressed a disc in my lower back. I mean, it was to the point where I didn't even think I was going to be able to pour the concrete. But it's like if I usually keep pressing through, I forget about it. I forget about the pain. And, you know, I felt it this morning. I felt it last night. You know, I felt it today. And I thought, I probably should just wait. But I want that 4 stair. I want to do a pop shove it down a 4 stair. That's what I want. You know, I need to find me a better 2 stair. And, you know, sidewalks all over the place. But I don't know what happened that got me into street skating. But all along, now that I'm doing it, and I mean, I had access to a skate park with a big bowl. I just didn't do it. And it's sort of a trip, but man, it makes me think about all the tricks I'm going to lose if I don't keep up on that. So I'm going to have to, I think what I'm going to have to try to pull double days, right? Street tranny. Let's see. My slime balls are 60. Yeah, I love 60 millimeter wheels. They cover more ground. You got to do yoga like Salva. I do, man. Stretching is key when you're at our age. And you know how I know that, right? So like I got this injury and a lot of really wise old dudes told me, hey, you got to stretch out your hips. So that's a stretch, right? Like this one, right? Where you basically put your foot up on something, lean over, and it stretches around your hip here. Well, I started doing that, and I've been so tight my whole life. It's like my spine never moved. And since I started stretching out my hips, I like lean over to pick something up, and I can feel like my spine go when I turn, and it's like seeing an alien for the first time. It's like, whoa, what was that? You know, like you feel like you got some sort of kundalini thing happening in your body, and it's like, no, it's a functional spine. So yeah, and in the back of my mind, it's like, I wonder if I'm going to skate better like that, or I wonder if I'll be more breakable because I hear a lot of dudes talking about being extra breakable, and I just feel like I feel like I'm a rock out there. Like I feel like sorry for the concrete when I hit it sometimes. Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, let's see. Gon's on his 40-inch longboards. Really? I do a runner's stretch. I need to be into more stretching. But so yeah, I think that's the setup I'm gonna do. I have Thunder or Indy. I don't know that it matters at all. What do you guys prefer? I think the Thunder trucks are lighter even than the titanium. So I think this Indy is a hair longer here. But you know what? I like my wheels to stick out a little wider. And honestly, you cannot deny how hot that looks, right? Ooh. I don't know about wheels though. I'm probably going to try to throw something 56, 58. Whenever I tried a 52 once, and I was just standing on my board looking to the side, just kind of rolling. I hit a rock and I slammed the ground. So I definitely trip out on like little rock accidents doing that. But what okay, so hill flip or varial kickflip? What should be next? The hill flip to me seems really foreign, man. Like I can't even really understand the thought process that goes into what your body needs to do on that. And it's like, here's my greatest tip. Snappier. Thunders have a smaller wheelbase, so your pop is snappier. Yeah, right. The wheels will be a little closer together, huh? That's true. They are a little bit shorter. But on a 14.25, I'm gonna be pretty close. Varial kickflip, they're awesome. Yeah, I remember one day in my garage, my parents' house. We had a pool table out there. We had friends over one night. I couldn't do a kickflip, and I stood on my board, and I used to fake a flip trick. Like people would look over, the girls would look over and think, "Oh yeah, you got that? Yeah, I got that once in a while." Right? Just total bullshit. And I did that in front of some girls I was trying to impress. Like I have a lot of really weird moments where things in life worked out for me, and yeah, so I was like trying to get to know this really nice looking female, and I tried a varial kickflip, and I just stuck it on the on the bolts. And my buddy looks over at me like not wanting to like spoil the game. But his jaw hit the ground kind of like, what the heck? And I never been able to do it again. Another time, there was these girls that I lived sort of near a cul-de-sac. And I was in high school at the time. And me and my brother were out in the street, out on our sidewalk, and this white dove. Okay, so this girl in an IROC comes by. And I guess she used to drive up and down. I didn't know she had a crush. But she's driving up and down the road, and I see this white dove, and it's flying like really high, like stupid high. And I go out, and I'm holding my hand up before I see this IROC coming around the corner with this chick in it. And I'm holding my finger up like this to catch this dove. And she passes around. She goes around, and I don't see her at this point. I don't even know. And I'm holding my hand up, and this damn bird comes down from 100 feet, lands on my finger. And she goes, "Whoa, do you train birds?" She pulled up and we started having a conversation. As this bird's sitting on my finger, I go, "No, it's not my bird." She's like, "You gotta be kidding." So yeah, just a funny story. I don't know why I told that, but yeah, so I'm here in my part of town. Austin, Texas area is gonna unlock itself around the end of the month. I can't believe there's 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks of doing what? Skateboarding. I'm going to do a lot of skateboarding. I really hope my parking block turns out okay, because when I pull those foam boards off, I'm going to be nervous. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm not waiting 3 days. I can't wait 3 days. I got to see this thing. I might take it off when I get off this, but I don't want to. I want it to cure up as hard as possible. But I want to skate the out of that thing. Like, I'm going to learn, okay, I want to set some goals right now, right while I have you guys here now. Oh, I'm about to be brave. Okay. I want 5 out of 10 kickflips. I want to be 50-50 on my kickflips. That's not asking too much. I can fully do that. I want to be like 90% on pop shove-its and shove-its. I don't think the pop is going to be that hard. But I'm going to get the shove-it first, just so I can get comfortable with the idea that I'm about to lose total control of everything and try to randomly land on this board. And that's why I have this injury in my back. It happened from that pop shove-it day. So I'm going to be 90% on pop shove-its. I'm going to say 100%. I want to be 100%. Okay, how about this? 100% on shove-its. But my ultimate goal is the pop shove-it because I want to do that off stairs. I'm going to hit it off curbs. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 stairs. I'm going to do that and kick flips off a 4 stair at 50 years old. That's aggressive. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are saying, no way, no way. I fully believe that I'm going to be able to ride off that 7 stair, maybe catch a little ollie off that 7 stair. I've never seen such 7 stair. Yes, Kevin. I've never seen such beautiful 7 stair in my life. And you know what? I got an 8 stair. It's just as good. I probably only got 2 tries at it because it's at the stadium. If you live in the area, there's an 8 stair there at the stadium up here. That's insanely perfect. I mean, there's no curbs to go off, no sidewalks. There's no expansion joints in the concrete. Like, they're slightly downhill. Like, these things are beautiful, but I can shove it off a 2 stair, but catching air is hard. Is that what he said? Catching air? But catching it is hard. See? All right, so I just scared myself just reading your comment because you envision yourself needing to catch yourself on a long fall on the way down. That sounds scary. Okay, so I'm gonna go this. This is gonna be my bonus trick. The Varial kickflip. I believe I can do that. And I was having a conversation with a guy. I skated with a guy the other day. He hit me up. I'm not going to name him, so it doesn't matter. I skated with this guy a couple of years ago in the bowl. And he said, hey, he texted me and he's like, hey, man, can I call you? Whatever, can we hook up and skate? And I was totally down. Like, he doesn't skate with any friends anymore. And I don't have any friends either that I skate with. So I'm like, heck yeah, let's skate together. So he's in his mid-30s. And he was watching the video where I talked about being a wallflower. And I talked about, when I was talking to my son about being shy. I'm going to read these comments in a second, but I don't want to get off track right now. I was talking to my son about being shy, and I was like, it takes more effort to go inside yourself like that and to be like that shy guy. And then that tension and the anxiety you feel, it builds and it gets bigger, And I was talking about that to my son in the video, and I think in that video was the day my son, it was like the next day, and some older kids came out that were more in his peer group or people that he looked up to, where he would be more justified in being nervous or scared around him to skateboard rather than these little tiny babies. It's like, why are you nervous about skating around some little kids that probably don't even know what a skateboard is? And here's a skateboard, and he kept skating. I was like, come on, stand up, take a run. And he just, boom, run after run after run after run. And he told me halfway through that, not off camera, he said, hey, you're 100% right. I am not feeling shy at all. He's like, to sit there and to not take my turn made it harder for me. And it so does, man. If you go out to a bowl and you got a bunch of OGs, because we have a bunch of OG rippers out here. I'm talking guys. You want to be intimidated? Come to Texas, man. We got 100 skaters out here that are all over 40 that shred. And they're all super nice guys. But I mean, these dudes do Smith grinds, low C slides, all airs, all kinds of stuff. And they're the coolest dudes ever. But if you're going to be shy around them, you might not get to know them. Some of them are so nice that they come over and introduce whatever. But if you just, hey, I want to take a turn. You just stand up. They're going to be like, hey, take a run, buddy. It's so cool. But don't let yourself go there, and so that's what he said. When he called me, he's like, I want to skate with you because that video really helped me. It really helped me, and you need to come out of your shell. And he realized that, and he'd been working on that and said, it's great, dude. It gave me a lot of help. So anyway, I went skating with him, and what was I talking about? Like, I think that was the point. I think that was the point to why I was bringing that up. That, some people hear something like that in a video and they tackle it and they target it. Oh, I know what I was going to talk about with him. I said something like we were in a parking lot and practicing social distancing, right? And he was the one that got me to try to shove it, and I thought, sick. Okay, he's got a pretty good, like, he wasn't perfect at it, but he was working it pretty good. And I was like, I want to do this too. And I realized the difference in the way we spoke. When I spoke, I was like, I can get this. Like, I could get this right now. Like, if I just devote 30 minutes, I'll get it. And then he would say like, I won't get it yet. And he's like, I know how I learn. It's going to take more time. I'm going to need more time than that. Which he's right. All right. We're all making a prophecy here. And he's right. If he's going to say that, he is right. He's definitely right. He is not going to get it today. And the problem with that way of thinking is he's going to come out every day, and he's going to say that same thing because he's practiced in that belief that I won't get it today. And that's the difference in me. When I come out, I think I'm going to get it. And a lot of times I sound like a douchebag. Right? Like, I'm going to get that 7 stare today. But you know what? If anyone in the group gets it, it's probably going to be me because I believe there's a possibility that I can. And it just in saying it basically ensures that you're probably going to give it enough effort that it could come true. So I sort of brought that up to him that day, and I was like, look, whether you get it or don't get it, it doesn't matter. But if you change the way you believe and the way you speak, because no one decides to do anything without deciding to do it first. It usually doesn't just happen. You kind of got to make a decision, and usually you say, I'm going to do this. Yes. And then your actions follow, right? And then if you've got the belief, even enough to say it, then you can do it, right? So I'm going to do a CV 19 Varial kickflip. Okay, so I'm going to read some comments now. I see Salvation there. My friend learned Varial flips the same day as kickflips. Now that's what I'm talking about. See an OG? That's impressive. I want to know, did he already have a pop shove it? Because I feel like that the Varial kickflip could possibly be easier than the shove it. Because I feel like there's so much happening there that it could take your mind off of it. I don't know. That's the program I'm going to run with. He still can't even shove it. See, that's exactly what I just said. I feel like there's so much with the flip. I feel like it lands on it. Now, I will say this. I tried one day for about 30 minutes messing around with the idea of a tray flip. I don't feel like I could jump high enough. I don't feel like I could spin that board fast enough. Like that trick seemed impossible. I want that trick too, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to lose weight for that. And this situation we're all dealing with right now has not been good for my diet. You've seen the memes. You're looking at one right now. Okay, so let me see. If you learn tray flip first. Okay, wait a second. Do them. Okay, wait a second. Whoa. Let's scroll. What are you guys talking about here? Come on, do you know how to use a mouse? I'm going to have to watch this video back and read all your comments. In aces, the axles are the closest to each other. Really? In thunders, they're farther apart. I thought thunders were closer, really. Indies are the best. Well, I have all the choices. I got ace, thunder, and Indy. I'm probably going to go Indy just because gold on gold foil looks amazing. Okay. All the more reason to do it. Haha. But if you learn tray flip, then you can't go back to varial flip. Is that true? I would suggest learning tray flip. Dude, I cannot. You know what I'll do? The next time I film, which will probably be maybe tomorrow, definitely Tuesday. I'll show you what it looks like when I try a tray flip. Okay, so you can't go back. Are you serious? That sucks. If you learn tray flip. Honestly, if I learn tray flip, I probably don't want to do a varial flip anymore. I want to have a tray flip. The varial flip, like, it's cool, but it's not that cool. I'd rather land on my board the same direction I like to ride it, you know? I did the other day work on riding switch in a parking lot, and that's almost like a trick, man. That's scary. That is like a trick. It's pretty sketchy, but I didn't do too bad at it. It's easier to learn hill flips before kick flips. I've heard a few people say that. I did it and everything seems so easy. Sounds like shrooms. What was I talking about when he said that? See that? I'm going to have to watch this episode back over. I've been trying to learn pressure flips. I don't even know what a pressure flip is. Is that like a kick flip but you don't hit? I don't know. Form boards. You know what I did? 5150 Abbott. I did spray some clear coat, and I didn't buy melamine, but I bought, I think it was painted white pine. So it had some white paint on it, and then I took clear coat right before I poured the concrete, and I did a layer of clear coat. I pulled off one of the end pieces just to see what the concrete kind of looked like. It was fairly dense, but it did have some pock marks on it. I'm hoping it comes unstuck. I got the PVC sticking through the whole thing. There's going to be some sort of a video to follow, and you guys, if this thing comes out all voided and rutted out, you're going to watch me cry. I'm so psyched to have an 8-foot parking block. I can't even tell you how bad I want that. All right, so let's see. Don't learn varial flips. They're not worth learning. See, they seem easy enough. But yeah, a lot of people talk smack on varial flips. Varian, eggs, varian. What do you mean? Oh, I see what you're showing. Okay, yeah. I still can pop shove it. Oh, can't pop shove it. You would think I would have had a pop shove it back in my day, right? I couldn't kickflip, but Ollie, the mini gap in Carlsbad, hanging out with, I didn't know Danny Way, but hanging out with those guys in the same parking lot all the time with that group that skated at that level. I didn't even know how to do a pop shove it. Sad. I'll say this, and I bet you a lot of you OGs are going to agree with me. I'm better now than I was then. If this parking block ends up being similar to that curb that I'm kind of trying to duplicate it off of, I'm going to have some sick nose slides, sloppy nose slides, and tail slides. That should come back to me pretty easy. I say sick, you know, for me, it's going to be good. And I'm only saying that I'm just better now than I was then. Encinitas, Swamis, right on, man. I used to surf Swamis all the time. I lived right across from Warehouse Records on Carlsbad Village Drive or Elm Street, like Witt's Pipeline, and I was right on the other corner, right behind the little taco shop, like right between all businesses. I had the one little house with picket fences. I loved it. Had a great life. And before that, I lived down by the pier in Oceanside, and I could watch the waves from my couch. So I lived a good life for a while. I wrote a curb tip. Okay, do them backwards. I wrote a curb tip. Learn tray flips first. Dude, tray flip. We'll talk again after I show you what a tray flip for me looks like now. In my opinion, varial flips are easier than kick flips. Just think about landing a pop shove. When you do the flip, right? You do the kick flip and you think about landing the shove it, right? Like, that's what I feel like in my mind. Like, the times I do the best at my kick flips are the times I think of when I'm doing it, I think of snapping my fingers, but with my feet. If I'm breaking it down and, okay, do this. You see old guys, when they're learning to kick flip, they do this with their foot all the time, right? Like, nah, that's not going to help you at all. That's going to jack you up. Don't do that foot movement, because you're not doing that foot movement. You're doing a snap. Boom, it all happens at the same time. If you start dividing it, you're never going to get a good kick flip. You're just not. And, you know, even with the pop shove it, there's a not the pop shove, but the shove it. You have to intend to land it. And so many people, where I might get a little lucky once in a while, is because once in a while I actually think I can do it. And so I get close. And then it triggers my mind and I'm like, oh, you got it now. You got it now. Like those words lead, and then I'm able to do it. Okay, wait, that's going to disappear. I got to get over here. Let me finish these. My friend called me Mongo. I didn't know. I shouldn't be offended, but I was at first. I've been Mongo since 1985 and didn't know it was a thing till 2 years ago. One of our best transition skaters up here pushes Mongo. I mean, he gets down in the street section and he shreds it too. I mean, hard. Pushes Mongo. He's basically like, I didn't put it up, right? I don't care what you think. That's like from our days, that was power pushing, man. I'm good. I push Mongo just as good as I push regular, because I used to take my skateboard 5 miles to Taco Bell every day. And I mean, I had the big pushes, right? You got your leg way out, get tired, switch legs. You know, I mean, we use our skateboards as transportation back in the day. Oh, I get to watch myself acting like a dork. Okay, so if you reach for the impossible, you break the shell of what's possible. Exactly. You know, that's where we have a lot of it in common. Salvation, and for whatever reason, your name is slipping my mind right now. It's going to come to me. We have a lot in common there, you know. Belief, faith, works, you know. You don't need to lose weight. Oh, for a tray flip? I feel like I do, man. Mike, man, we're losing weight by practicing. I'm maintaining, dude. I've had a couple of mini almond joys today. I had a few jelly beans. I ate a burrito. Like, I'm off the diet. I drank a big glass of milk. Like, I'm doing everything wrong, But I'm starting again tomorrow. I told you. And where's my memory? 40-year-old skateboarder, adventures in skateboarding. Is that what it is? I can't remember his name. Military guy, just unpacked a flat bar. Anyway, he said he was going to make fun of me if I'm still fat at 50. So I'm supposed to show abs. So I think what I'm going to do is like straight up fast tomorrow. If I could go a week, my wife just did another week. You don't get hungry. It's the oddest thing. I want to skate though too. So I might only go a day or two, but I get such a jump start on any kind of a diet because it sort of like rewires your brain from that addiction mode on food when you can go a day to 3 days without eating. My record's 5. If you can go that long without eating and just drinking water, you'd be surprised how much power you have over food. Like, it's incredible. You have no problem the next day being like, oh, the can of sardines. That's all I need. Because it's a lot better than it was the day before when you ate nothing. So I'm going to give my best attempt in 4 weeks. My birthday's in the middle of May. And I'm going to try to get as close as I can. I'll weigh myself right now tonight, and we'll see where I'm at. I'll lose at least 10 pounds, but I think I could go more. All right, let's see if I missed anything. Encinitas, Surf Swamis. Yeah, dude, I miss it out there. Especially now that I see that, is that Alga Norte skate park where I see Caballero. That's in Carlsbad, I think, if I got the name right. I see him sharing videos out there, and I'm like, man, that'd be my local park now. And that bowl looks epic. Do all these things backwards also. So are you meaning going fakie? I've heard a few people talk about doing pop shove, it's rolling fakie. And I just don't see how that could help me, but I'll give it a shot. When you scoop, catch it with your front foot and jump forward and commit to putting the back foot on. Is this for the tray flip, Jax? And then what Daniel says, orange, Santa Ana, 79 to 81. You lived right there in the heart then, dude. That's where it all was going down. Power push, bro. Yeah, no doubt. Mongo for power. You got that right. You really can, too. The youngsters don't even know that, man. They had it too easy. It's like nowadays skateboarding is like the hamster wheel compared to what we had to do. We had to travel a mile to a different spot. Amen. Faster. Yeah, see, everybody's agreeing about power pushing. Try to eat stir-fried veggies with every meal. I love stir-fried veggies, too. I could do that. Mongo seems less stable. Well, yeah, Mongo is less stable if you're not used to it. Switch is pretty unstable for me as well. Remember, your body's slowing down as you get older. So it saves all the fat it has. Any challenges, if it has challenges. So it's important to tell that there's plenty of food and it won't. Yeah, but a lot of that's old science, though. I know there's some new science on some of that stuff right now. Most days I go skating, I only eat breakfast because my mom, are you from Canada? My wife's Canadian and she says mom. Makes me, don't diet, it's a weird paradox. CV is bad. I think I'll be able to skate again in 2 months or so. Why did you have it? Because we won't even talk about that. You guys know how I feel about that. I'm a denier. Fakie, yes. Is a switch in the brain. There's a switch in the brain and it's not forward. It's just a different direction. I could see somehow with the pop shove it. And I think I've noticed a few of some of the other YouTube OGs talking about doing a hill flip on a bank as you're stopping. that they have really good luck landing hill flips that way. So I was thinking about kind of trying that too. To me, it feels like I'm throwing a whole nother scary variable in there as far as a transition that I'm going to fall down in. I'm kind of funny when I do my kickflips and I do my tricks. I like to have a slight uphill grade, just slight. And I'm really superstitious about it. If it's on an angle or if it's downhill, I'm just not as comfortable with it. Okay, so salvation. I learned how to push goofy, but I did my tricks regular. If I had to catch speed for stairs or anything, I pushed Mongo. Whoa, dude. I don't anymore. I adapted to riding both ways now. That's rad. Now that's something I feel like would benefit me huge. That's why I was out there trying to just cruise around Switch the other day. William, in the UK we say, oh yeah, my wife's got family out there too. I never knew they said that in Canada as well. I skate with a guy that is like in the mid 40s and he can't kickflip on flat, but it's moving, but he can on a big bank. So as he's going up, as he's starting to slow down, right? That's what I'm assuming. I skated the Big O skate park in 80, 81 with Mill Blender. Dude, like, you know what? I didn't have cool parents back then. I grew up in San Diego. We moved to Temecula. We lived in Agoura for a while, you know, North Simi Valley, and then lived in Temecula. That was the first time I ever skated a real swimming pool. Temecula was a weird area. If you don't know it, I'm not going to explain it. That was a gnarly pool. It was one of those. It's kind of like visiting hell, probably. It was sort of scary out there. But Temecula was a weird area. I went to high school there, so the kids today don't realize how it was when we grew up, and so these millennials can be so sensitive about things. And it's like, I heard Owen Benjamin say it, and it was so true. He's like, "Man, we used to throw rocks at each other for fun." And that's what we did. Like, we did stupid stuff that was really dangerous all the time, and it's different now, man. My kids like have it so easy. I was skating in a warehouse on a wall ramp I had set up on myself with Jason Cock and was scouting Jess Phillips' new park. So sick, dude. Like, I wasn't far from Del Mar, you know? Parents never brought me. I didn't really get to surf too much until I got my own car. Parents didn't take me. My parents were into horses. So the skateboarding my brother and I did was on like some super oiled. Luckily, it was a really smooth blacktop road, real wavy, you know, like some dude did it himself. So it was kind of fun to skateboard on. Had like drainage ditches that were all banked up with really smooth blacktop. So that was pretty fun. But I, you know, watching Grosso, rest in peace, and love letters, and you know, they're talking about magazine covers that I had, decks I had ripped out on the wall. What was your favorite deck, guys? Whether you got it or not. My first big one was the Billy Ruff with the chalice and the bubbles, the skeleton hand. But the one I remember the most was that Lester with the what was it, ink, like an ink splotch. Like, I need to get that board now because I wanted that one so bad as a child. The Guerrero deck. I'm gonna have to look some of these up. I'm at a place where, you know, if things get back to normal soon, which I believe they are, I had maybe one or two dark nights where I was starting to feel like things were getting sketchy. And Salvation, hey, I don't know if you studied much Revelations, but dude, a lot of that stuff parallels pretty sketchy with what's in there. And I had a couple nights where I got sketched up, but I don't feel too sketchy about it now because I think we're gonna get back to normal, and I think things are gonna get better. So I'm rolling with that, but I'm gonna skate harder. You want to come say hi?
No.
My wife is about to walk. You guys might like that outfit. No, I'm kidding. Um, all right. So I think I'm almost an hour. I don't know if I've been on here longer than that, but let's see. I love the Lounce Mountain Shield board on the Pal Peralta board was killer. Yeah, I dude, and Black Label, 1995 Black Label. Like I wasn't into Black Label then, but I am now. I like Black Label. You know who else I like? Like Vallely, like Mike Vallely. If somebody knows him, I might not mind riding a Vallely deck because of him. You know, I don't know if any of you guys are in his like. Doesn't he has like a Facebook group? I'm not in it. I was before I deleted my account back then. But man, he's like a good dude to his crew, right? Like his army of fans, and he's got a lot of good OG followers. Man, they dig his stuff, they buy his stuff, and so I'm really looking to support a brand that I really could get behind. You know, like somebody like that. That's I don't know. You know, John Lucero. Help me grow my YouTube channel. Give me a shout out, dog. On Instagram, you can help me out a lot. I'm not looking for a free deck. I don't care about a free sticker. Mike V. Yeah, Mike V. He's a rad guy, dude. Like, he's pretty cool now. And I don't know how much of it. I don't know how far I want to go down the road. You guys in that group? Any of you? His Facebook group? The other board I love was the Vallely Burning Buildings with the snake on World Industries. I remember that. Yep. Who's your favorite skater, you guys? Now, I gotta say, too many head injuries or what? Who's the dude that wears the helmet? Andy Anderson. Andy Anderson, and I was trying to bring up his name in a video the other day, and I had to edit it out. Not Andy Anderson, but who's the anti-hero skater? Hewitt. What's his first name? Peter Hewitt. Dude, I love watching Peter Hewitt skate. Like, Peter Hewitt is a mad dog right there. Like, I dig that guy too. There's a whole bunch. Omar Hassan. Like, did you guys catch his post yesterday? He did like, what was it? Was a backside air alley oop? Like, it had to be 10 feet out, 15 feet of travel, and I'm probably doubling what it really was. But that shit blew my mind, man. Mitchie Brusco, yeah, I'll tell you what, the skaters nowadays are out of control. Paul Rodriguez. See, I don't know a lot of Paul Rodriguez. That's mostly street stuff, though. But I'm gonna now. I'm not gonna let the street skating go this time. I feel stronger, you know. And now that this injury is healed, you hear my tongue? Like I'm starting to confess it with my mouth. John Cardiel's got to be one of the dopest out. Mike V wears a helmet every time he skates now too. Good, man. You know what? When I heard I can never remember anything. Who's that girl? I talked about her before, that girl skater. Pink helmet posse girl all grown up. Do you guys follow this Ocean and Sky too? These kids are nuts, man. They make me question reality. If you really want to lose weight fast, get a heavy bag. Oh gosh, dude. You don't know what it feels like to be 50 yet, bro. Dane Brady is a street skater who skates 9.7.5 board. You should check him out. That's the thing. I don't think kick flipping that 10-inch board was that much harder. It's just different, you know, and you get used to it. Now, if you're going to tray flip something like that, then it's probably going to be impossible. But not for somebody, you know, somebody could do it still. I really felt like from the time I tried the tray flip before, the board mattered and my fat belly mattered. Mike V is all-time favorite. See, Mike V, you're probably part of his group, right? Buck Wild Bill. Dude, there's like they love him in there. And when I was in that group for that short time and read that and saw that connection he had with his people, like that was pretty tight. Like I need to look at some Mike V decks. I mean, I have a lot of people asking me what I ride, and you know what? I want to start supporting people that I can really get behind. American made. American made. You know what? Indie, Ace, get your molds here, dude. Make them here. It matters to us now. It's funny. There's a picture-in-picture window of me there. It's about 30 seconds behind. So anyway, guys, listen, I hope everybody has a great Easter, you know, for what you can. If you live in one of those states where you can go to church, I hope you got to get out there and go to church. You know what they actually said? They actually said they weren't letting Christians go to drive-up churches in these other states. So what are they trying to do? They're putting an FM radio in their car, like a drive-in movie theater, I think, and they're doing a remote church, what is like a parking lot church service where they can all park. And like the Democratic government is trying to stop them from doing that. Like, and they don't think we're at more risk in Walmart or in HEB than that. Like, if you don't see the problem in that kind of crap, like, it's sketchy. It's sketchy. I feel like we're teetering on very thin ice with some of this stuff. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. The numbers and the models have been lies. Straight up. Straight up. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you just don't know. So let's just agree to disagree until you look it up. But I do. I have a hobby when I'm working. I like to watch the hearings that go on in the Senate and in the House of Rep. And so I'm like completely aware of the bullshit the media is talking about. Don't believe anything they say. But anyway, guys, have a great Easter. Get out there, learn some tricks, skate tricks, get out there with your kids, get out there with your homies, stay 6 feet away, fine. Build something to skate. That's why I shared those videos the other day. We need to make we need to make launch ramps great again. Oh, a launch ramp, like if you're on our Facebook group, launch ramps are getting talked about. And I'm going to make one because I remember I wasn't real good at grabs, but I remember just boosting some big ollies off them. It was fun. Event 2001. I'll have to look into that. But anyway, guys, have a great Easter and be safe. Don't drink and drive. You're supposed to stay home. Don't let them catch you out. There's all the comments. Okay, subscribe now. Thank you. Yes. Anybody who hasn't subscribed, if you please subscribe. I read a lot of comments, and a lot of you don't even subscribe. I know subscribership doesn't matter compared to views, but we like it. We like to see it. And sometimes when I say subscribe, people unsubscribe. So I don't really pay attention to that stuff too much anymore, but it's the views that matter. So just watch the videos. All right, we'll see you guys later. Adios, my friends. Peace out. And then I never know how to shut it off. Okay, wait. Wait, there. Let's see, what's under this? All right, man. We'll see you guys later. I'm going to do that video when I uncover my parking block tomorrow. So we'll catch you later, man. Bye.